third phase of moon.
Exactly. Captain Solace is going to speak Saturday. And as we have a long interview and a great video available right there on Third Phase of Moon, he spoke about his incident in 1967 when in Maelstrom Air Force Base when a UFO came and shut down these UFOs. Briefly, real quick, Captain Solace, just tell the listeners what happened. I know I just summed it up in a couple words, but were there any more details?
Well, I think that summed it up. But what I'm going to do on Saturday is go into a lot more detail. Talk about the witnesses that I have supporting the incident. I think I counted over 12 witnesses who have come forward since I started talking about it and have supported it. I've got documents also supporting it, so we'll be talking about the documents, the witnesses. But almost as important is the Air Force, we call it whitewash, of the Condon investigation, which was ongoing during the missile shutdowns at Maelstrom. And I've got a lot more evidence to present about that. Showing a collusion between the Air Force and the Condon investigation. Aside from that, I'll be going into extreme secrecy in the government that is holding these secrets and the international cabal that is operating worldwide holding these secrets. I'll go into some detail on that. And something that may interest many of your listeners is that I'll be speaking about my own abduction experience, which I haven't talked about much. But I think it's time for me to go public and support the many, many thousands of people that have been abducted. A lot of people think that this is something that really ought to be talked about or kind of pushed aside, but I think it's very important, as I'm sure Yvonne will agree. So I plan to come forward.
People we have had here, right here, on Third Phase of Moon Radio, such as yourself, who is unimpeachable with an impeccable record, a true man of integrity who has stayed true to his word and never exaggerated something and told it to its fact. Just like we've had some other witnesses who have spoken at the citizen hearings, like we said, Jesse Marcel Jr., astronaut Edgar Mitchell. You are a man of integrity, and the things you've been saying and what you experienced, you told it as it is. And now that you have more witnesses coming forward is even that much more amazing. But you know what you just said about having your own abduction experiences. Wow, that is truly breaking news for all the listeners out there. Can you tell us, did this happen post the incident?
Yes. It happened in 1985 as well as I can determine. And it happened before I went public with my story about Malmstrom. I didn't go public with that until 1994. So, yeah, this happened in 85, and my wife is a witness to part of it. And so I'll be going into those details. I don't want to spoil it for your listeners if they can get out.
No, everybody.
1,000 notes and come and listen to me. I think they'll be very interested.
Yes, and the Zero event will be this weekend, as Yvonne Smith said. And again, what is it, ZeroInternational.com, Yvonne?
Yes, for Saturday, September 14th, go on to ZeroInternational.com and purchase tickets there through PayPal so you can get preferred seating. Of course, there'll be tickets available at the door, $15 per person. Seniors will get 3 free raffle tickets, as well as students with a student ID. So, we're looking forward to Bob's talk. I've known Bob and his wife Marilyn for many years, and Bob, I salute you and admire you for coming forward with your own personal abduction experiences. I know how difficult it is for people to talk about it, but you're going to lend so much credibility to this after people hear your story.
You know, absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you, Yvonne. I just want to thank Yvonne also for all the wonderful work she's done with so many people that have come to her for help in trying to understand what happened to them. And I know Yvonne has also helped me. I owe my debt of gratitude to Yvonne certainly for this.
Thank you, Bob, very much.
We were saying on behalf of all the people who have been helped by you that we are very gracious and have much gratitude for your help, Yvonne. As we said, Captain Solace, before you came on both hours, that Yvonne has helped literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people by being a true pioneer in therapy for people who have had alien abduction and trauma, and literally by setting up these therapy groups around the world. As I was saying earlier, I met a woman from China who was in one of the therapy groups there, and she was, thought of Yvonne Smith as like literally the godmother of therapy for abduction. And we are truly honored to have both of you on as, on Third Phase Moon Radio. But Captain Solace, I want to ask you a question about your abduction. I know we don't want to spoil much, but nonetheless, we've got a couple of minutes left. Do you think that there was did you have missing time in the 67 incident where they possibly marked you as something that, okay, we'll abduct you later, or maybe they abducted you, implanted you then, and took you back in the time you said you did?
That's interesting. That was an interesting question. One thing that did happen during my experience was after I got my second phone call from the guards upstairs that were saying they're looking at this object above the front gate, they hung up, and then the first thing I did, what I should have done was go directly to my commander and report the phone call, but I stopped in my tracks and actually looked over at my board that displayed the status of missiles and thought to myself, they're going to shut me down. And I had no reason to think that. I mean, but it was almost like it was a communication. Now, directly to your point or your question, I will be talking about this one incident in 1976, Ellsworth Air Force Base. Similar to mine, an officer